Hi everybody, how's it going? This is Channel 8 Update and I'm Dan Cox.
And I'm Brendan Orr. In eastern Idaho, a deluge of snow slid across a roof and buried three children. The accident occurred on Friday night around 5:20 p.m. in the Matt's Inn area, according to the Fremont County Sheriff's Office. Emergency responders took more than 30 minutes to dig the children out because they were covered in several feet of snow and ice. The three victims, which include two 7-year-olds, were airlifted to Eastern Idaho Regional Medical Center. Both 7-year-olds are now listed in fair condition.
4 high school students were shot and injured earlier today at an Ohio high school. 2 students were directly hit with bullets. The other 2 were injured by shrapnel or injuries in their attempts to escape the shooter. The shooter has been identified as 14-year-old Austin Hancock. He has since been detained and is facing charges of attempted juvenile murder, felonious assault, inducing panic, and making terrorist threats. All other students are declared safe.
The U.S. Army's elite force of soldiers, known as the Delta Force, have begun their operation to thwart ISIS. The plans are currently underway in Iraq. The objective is to target, capture, and/or kill ISIS operatives. The group of soldiers have spent the past several weeks preparing for these events. Such preparations include setting up safe houses, establishing information networks, and coordinating operations with Iraqi and Peshmerga units. Several military and Pentagon officials have declined to comment on the specifics of the operation at this time, though some sources have seemingly confirmed that the Special Ops forces have begun their mission.
The Anaheim Police Department has appealed to the public for help catching a man wanted for assault over stabbing that occurred during a brawl between 6 KKK members and 30 counter-protesters, according to the police. 20 to 30 protesters waited for a planned KKK rally identified as 6 KKK members and them attacked them. 2 people were stomped on the ground and 3 were stabbed. 1 person was stabbed with the end of a flagpole. 12 people were arrested, including 5 KKK members, but the KKK members were found to have been acting in self-defense and so were released. Anaheim Police Chief Raul Cueza said about the event, quote, "Violence is not acceptable and we will arrest anybody who assaults other persons or commits any other crime in our city," end quote. He remarked that, quote, "Even in the vast majority of our community disagrees with a particular group who visits our city, we cannot stop them from lawfully gathering to express their opinions," end quote. the Anaheim Police Department is asking anyone with photo or video evidence of the brawl to come forward with it. 4 of those arrested so far have been charged with assault with a deadly weapon and are being held in $25,000 bond. The remaining 3 have been charged with elder abuse and are being held on $50,000 bond.
Last week, at a Trump rally in Virginia, a photographer from Time magazine was choked and thrown to the ground by U.S. Secret Service agents. Photographer Chris Morris at the scene said, quote, "I stepped 18 inches out of the press pen, and then he grabbed me by the neck and started choking me, and then slammed me to the ground," end quote. The Trump campaign simply stated that there was an incident involving a photographer and a secret security agents. The rally was also disrupted multiple times by hecklers, some of which were a part of the Black Lives Matter movement. A group of Black Lives Matter protesters were thrown out of the rally, which prompted the crowd to chant, quote, "All lives matter," end quote. Trump stated during the rally, quote, "Folks, you're only going to hear it once. All lives matter," end quote. He then ordered the protesters to be escorted out. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
You guys going to my party on Friday?
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be crazy.
All right.
What's up, dude?
I'm loving your jacket.
Don't be such a fag.
If you don't mean it, why say it? Words hurt. Think before you speak.
So good to see you guys. So, what's up?
Oh, we finally bought a place.
Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Is it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Thank you, dear. You're very supple. It's like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
Know what?
What?
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg.
Shelters are the best places to find a new pet.
What a perfectly beautiful little lady.
That's where you'll discover healthy.
That's awesome. Looks like we're gonna be hanging out a little bit more.
And loving animals. You little rascal. Eager to become a part of your family. A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet.
Oh, ladies first.
Be that person. Adopt.
This is living. Hey, kid.
To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
So, I got this new family. And I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy. All day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to... She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Welcome back to Channel 8 Update. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump met harsh criticism over the weekend after failing his disavow and endorsement from white supremacist and former KKK Grand Wizard David Duke. Trump blames his comments on a bad earpiece during the questioning and later stated he knows nothing about David Duke or white supremacists. Despite the criticism he received, Trump still holds a vast majority in the polls at 49%. This makes him the most prepared Republican candidate for Super Tuesday. The first day of multiple state voting, with many predicting Trump will win the Republican nomination.
On Saturday, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton beat Bernie Sanders in the South Carolina primary. She won big with black voters who made up more than half of whom showed up. Meanwhile, Republican candidate Donald Trump retweeted a quote attributed to former fascist dictator. This all comes right before Super Tuesday, a major indicator for who will win each party's nomination.
Sunday night hosted the 88th Academy Awards in Dolby Theater in Los Angeles. The big Oscar winners included Spotlight winning Best Picture, Leonardo DiCaprio winning Best Actor for The Revenant, and Brie Larson winning Best Actress for The Room. Other notable winners include Mark Rylance for Best Supporting Actor, Alicia Vikander for Best Supporting Actress, and Inside Out winning Best Animated Feature.
Scientists have discovered a 520 million year old preserved creature in southern China. The fossils of the shrimp-like creature is claimed to be one of the oldest and have one of the most extensive nervous systems ever preserved. The soft-bodied creature lived about 520 years ago in the Cambrian epoch. It belongs to an animal group that contain the distant ancestors of modern arthropods, a group that includes lobsters, spiders, and millipedes. Dr. Javier Ortega Hernandez said, quote, "Nerve tissue is extremely rare, and only very few specimens show traces of brains or nerve cords," end quote. According to Dr. Greg Edgecombe, this discovery is, quote, "a unique insight into how arthropod nervous systems evolved, and secondly, it is a unique insight into the nature of fossilization process," end quote. Edgecombe, when speaking about the discovered creature, said that, quote, "there is a big, long, slightly rotten ventral nerve cord, which is something that 5 years ago a lot of people would have said simply would never be known from fossil record," end quote. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Welcome back. Bolivian President Evo Morales has said that he wants to see a son he claims he thought has been dead for a long time. Morales had a child with his former lover, Gabriela Zapata, in 2007, a child which he believed to have died as an infant. Zapata was recently charged with illegal enrichment laundering of unjust gains and influence trafficking as part of a probe by the government's anti-corruption agency into a Chinese company that has won more than $500 million worth of contracts with the state. On Saturday, Morales was told by a woman claiming to be Zapata's aunt that his child was still alive and is named Ernesto Fidel. Opposition to Morales accuses him of benefiting from the previously mentioned contracts, but he strongly denies that claim. On Monday, Morales said that he was happy to find out the boy was alive and wanted to pick him up, if the boys' families will allow it.
Over the weekend, 32-year-old Ronald Hamilton, an active duty Army staff sergeant assigned to the Pentagon, was accused of killing his wife and a Virginia police officer. The officer, who was first working her first day on the job, was responding to a domestic disturbance call. 2 other officers were injured. The Army confirmed that Hamilton worked at the Pentagon in information technology. If convicted, he could face the death penalty.
Fire departments from East Dunkirk and Fredonia and Sheridan responded to a report of a barn fire at 2698 West Sheridan Road at about 8:30 p.m. on Sunday. Upon arrival, it was discovered what appeared to be a bonfire was in danger of spreading due to high winds. Concerned neighbors called the initial report of a barn fire, but the structure, which was located on the property near the flames, was not damaged. Firefighters on the scene quickly ran a hose approximately 50 yards from the roads to the blaze and doused the flames. No injuries were reported, and it appeared no structural damage occurred as a result of the fire.
County Executive Vince Horrigan is on the right track in making regionalism a priority. During his State of the County address this past week, Horrigan announced that the establishment of a Regional Solutions Commission, which will focus on shared services and consolidations. The panel, to be chaired by County Legislator George Borrello, will work to identify, develop, and implement a regional approach in public safety, infrastructure, and municipal government.
Charlotte Lindqvist Assistant Professor of Biological Sciences, Scott Ferguson, Associate Professor of Biology, and Scott Medler, Assistant Professor of Biology, will be presenting at the Brown Bag Lecture Series this Wednesday at noon in the Williams Center, room 204. The theme is, quote, "The Power of Genetics, from Darwin to Human Genome and Beyond," end quote.
Fredonia alumnus and chemist Christopher Cahill returns to the Fredonia campus to discuss State Department experiences and alternative careers for science majors. Dr. Cahill is the professor of chemistry and international affairs at George Washington University, now on temporary assignment at the U.S. Department of State. Dr. Cahill will be presenting, quote, "A chemist's stint with nuclear forensics at the State Department," end quote. His presentation is intended for a general audience as well as those not scientifically inclined. Dr. Cahill will touch upon his scientific interest and career trajectory since graduating from Fredonia in 1993 with a Bachelor of Science degree with majors in geochemistry and chemistry, as well as exploring some of his current efforts at the Department of the State. Dr. Cahill's presentation will be taking place Monday, March 7th at 6 p.m. in the Science Center's Kelly Family Auditorium. Stick around for more news after this quick commercial break.
Know what?
What?
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're going to be hanging out a little bit more.
Hello there, gentlemen. Can you please share your names?
My name's Tommy.
And my name's Alex.
What are you guys here for?
We're here from the radio systems.
Fredonia Radio Systems,
Yep.
WCVF and WDVL.
You got some nifty hardware there, boys. What's that?
This is the bowling trophy that we won against the leader and the TV station.
Which means we're the best medium on campus. Join us because we're winners.
Are you saying that you're better than the TV station?
Let's just have the bowling trophy.
Get out.
Hello and welcome back. The Marion Art Gallery will be hosting an exhibition of digital artwork. Interactive digital artwork will be featured when the Kathy and Jesse Marion Art Gallery host the expedition. Near and Far by Sala Wong and Peter Williams. Near and Far consists of a selection of site-based digital, interactive, and video artworks created by Wong and Williams between 2007 and 2015. Each piece in the show depicts the inevitability of change and the immensity of closeness the two artists' exhibition opens with a reception on Friday, March 4th from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Marion Art Gallery located on main level of Rockefeller Art Center. The gallery will be open from March 4th through April 10th.
The Fredonia men's basketball team played its final game this past Saturday against New Paltz, where they fell just short with a total score of 74-72. The game ended during the season honoring three seniors on the team: Eric Zerline, Kevin Munoz, and Alex Grace. Overall, the Blue Devils ended their season at 7-17.
Tom Brady will sign a 2-year contract extension with the New England Patriots, which means that he will play the quarterback position well into his 40s, while Brady's rival Peyton Manning is likely to announce his retirement in the near future. Brady has expressed his desire to play for as long as possible. In October of last year, Brady said, quote, "There's a lot that goes into playing well. I've played with a lot of great teammates, but I want to play for a long time. Maybe 10 more years. I think that's probably what my goal is," end quote. ESPN reports that Brady will extend his career until 2019. He is due to earn $9 million in 2016 and $10 million in 2017, with a salary cap charge of $15 million this year. However, the extension is likely to lower the latter figure, which could help free up room to negotiate for new contracts for players such as Chandler Jones and Malcolm Butler, whose deals are up at the end of next season.
Mischievous Cleveland Browns quarterback Johnny Manziel was spotted out partying again Thursday evening at Story nightclub in Miami, Florida. This certainly is nothing new for the young athlete, as he has been cited out in popular nightclubs countless times before. But it is certainly troubling for everyone else involved, namely the Cleveland Browns, his friends and family, and even his fans, as it seems the highly talented quarterback's career seems as though it is progressively derailing. Amongst other controversy, Manziel is also under investigation for a domestic violence dispute involving his former girlfriend. The jury has yet to indict him.
UFC featherweight champion of the world, Ireland's own Conor McGregor will now be fighting Nate Diaz at 170 pounds at UFC 196 card. Originally, McGregor was supposed to be fighting Rafael dos Anjos for the lightweight championship belt at 155 pounds. But after an unfortunate injury in training camp, dos Anjos said, "I had to pull out of the fight." Unfazed, McGregor told UFC Commissioner Dana White to, quote, "Put together any fight the fans wanted. I do not care about who I fight," end quote. The fighter of choice happened to be Nate Diaz. The Irishman also stated he has no problem fighting up 2 weight classes, and that he will, quote, "severely injure Diaz in the first exchange and toy with him for the remainder of the fight," end quote. The fight airs March 5th on pay-per-view. That's it from us at Channel 8 Update. I'm Dan.
And I'm Brendan. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we will see you next week. Have a great night.